everyone, Christy Makala here with Thriving on a Budget. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to do a monthly budget. I like to use Dave Ramsey's $0 budget form. He has it in the back of this book. If you haven't read this, read this as fast as you can. In the back he has all of his forms. The debt snowball, I'm going to show you how to do that today. And he also has his regular budget. So it's going to end up being $0 budget. Every single dollar will be assigned by the end of this budget. So I don't have this actual form. I have it in the book, but I'm not going to use this actual form. All you need to do this budget is a piece of paper, a scrap piece of paper, lined piece of paper. It doesn't matter. Just grab a piece of paper and grab a pencil or a pen, and you are ready to go. I also recommend using the Every Dollar app on your phone. It's free. It's Dave Ramsey's budgeting app, and I use that every single month as well as a piece of paper. So I always do my monthly budget on a piece of paper. I write out all the numbers. The numbers don't lie. Once they're there, they're set, they're good, and then I go in and I log it into my Every Dollar app. Because I don't always have this piece of paper with me when I'm out at the store, but I do have my phone. So once I spend something, I can just go right into the app and log my spending, and then it shows me exactly how much I have left. So it's a great tool for budgeting. I highly recommend you use that. But all you need to do to be successful is have a piece of paper. So grab a piece of paper. I like to color code because I get paid twice a month. So I have to split my bills up into two columns. If you get paid once a month, then you don't really need the color coding system. So as you can see, I've split my bills in half because I get paid 2 times a month. If you get paid once a month, then you just would need one list. If you get paid once a week, then you'd need 4 columns. That's just the way I do it. You don't have to do it this way, but I have found success in this method. So I have been doing this for a year, 10 months, but a couple years prior to me getting out of debt in the last 10 months, I would do a budget here and there, and I would kind of follow it, and then I kind of wouldn't, and then I wouldn't do it for a couple months, and then I'd write it down. So it was very on and off. But for the last 10 months, I have written down my budget every single month, and I've logged it into the Every Dollar app every single month. So you've got to do it. You've got to be consistent if you want it to work. So I'm going to show you how to do that budget today for the month. Today's July 25th, so I'm doing the budget for August. It's always important that you do your budget before the next month starts, so as soon as the next month, the first starts, you're ready and you don't have any surprises with your money. You've got all your money accounted for. So start now. It's barely July 25th. You have time to go and get ready for the next month. And whenever you happen to watch this, doesn't matter if you watch this, a year from now or a couple weeks from now, start your budget for the next month immediately and get ready. Don't use the excuse, well, I'll wait till August and then I'll do it. Or I'll wait till next month and then I'll do it. Just set it up now so you are ready to go. Sometimes time flies real fast. So get this done. So I'm going to show you how to do the budget for the month. But before we can do the budget for the month, I'm going to show you how to write down all your debt first, because it's important to calculate our debt payments, whether they're credit cards or student loans or whatever they are. It's important to put that into our regular budget, and we can't put that in until we have this first step done. So I'm going to show you how to do this. This is going to be our debt snowball page. Like I said, Dave Ramsey has actual forms, but I just write it down on a piece of paper. Dave Ramsey's baby step one of 7, is to have $1,000 in your emergency fund, which is just your savings account. So if you don't have that done already, then I'm going to show you how to incorporate that into your budget so that you can get that built up to $1,000 as quick as you can. If you already have $1,000, awesome, you are now on baby step 2, which is to get out of all of your debt. If you've seen my other previous video, I posted that I got out of $35,000 in debt in 10 months. So I am now done with baby step 2. I'm on baby step 3, which is saving a fully funded emergency fund, which is 3 to 6 months of my income to have a fully funded emergency fund. So $1,000 is not fully funded. It's just to get you started. And if something comes up, an emergency, then you're not having to put more on your credit card. So I'm going to show you how to get this debt snowball going. And you're going to write down your total amount of debt that you have today, whichever day you're doing this, whenever you're watching this. You're going to write it down, and you don't ever want that number to go up. We always want it to go down, and we want it to get rid of it and get it to zero. So that's why that beginner emergency fund is important, because if I blow out a tire tomorrow, I'm not going to go put that on the credit card. I have $1,000 in my emergency fund, so I can go pay for a $200 tire and not swipe it on my credit card, and then I can replenish my emergency fund next month and put $200 back in there to keep it stocked. So that way, when emergencies do come up, we're not putting it on the credit card. Okay, credit cards are not for emergencies. So, if you read this book, it really helps shift your mindset, because a lot of things that we think are normal, they're not normal. We shouldn't be putting things on the credit card. We shouldn't be having to have payments and be paying the lender all the time. We want to be debt free. So that is the goal. So if that's your goal, keep watching so you can see how to do this. So we are going to first create our debt snowball. So I need you guys on your piece of paper to list all your debts from the smallest amount to the largest amount. We are not looking at the interest rate. We are just looking at the total amount. We're going to be going so fast on this snowball to get rid of debt that I'm not worried about the interest rate right now. Okay? If I were to not stick to this plan and I was just kind of paying some debt here and there, then yeah, you should be worried about the interest. But the way that Dave Ramsey suggests is the smallest amount to the largest amount, so that way we're getting little victories along the way, and it helps keep you going. I know each time I knocked one of my debts off, whether it was one credit card, one student loan, whatever it was, each time I got to cross that off, it made me feel so good, like I can do this and I can keep going. So it was very motivating for me to keep going. So list all your debts. Think of everything that you have. The house does not count as debt. We are just talking about consumer debt. So I've just made up some generic numbers for you on this page, and I listed Kohl's credit card, Citibank, Ashley Furniture, Discover, my car, and my student loans. And I put their total amount. Now, once you write them all out, you can rewrite it, or you can just try to do it the first time, but you want to list them from the smallest to the largest amount. So you can see Kohl's is the smallest at $417, and then the student loans, the dreaded student loans, are the largest at $20,175. So they're listed in order from smallest to largest. After you've done that, grab a calculator and add them all up. I've added it up already, and the total is $43,408. That is the total debt, and I wrote the date up here, on July 25th. Now, that's important. You want to keep this page because you'll be able to look back at it, and however long it takes you to get out of debt. Mine was 10 months, and I was able to look back at my personal page and go, wow, that happened so fast, it's crazy. Here was my starting date, here's how much I had, and now I have $0. So it's really important to hang on to this page, and it's also important to hang on to this page because you do not want that number, that total number, to ever go up once you start this journey. You want it to go down, and you want it to go down fast till you get to $0. So that's important. Once you've done that, you're going to list the minimum payments for each debt. So I've listed them in order. So Kohl's, the minimum payment, $20. Citibank, $45. Ashley Furniture, $65. Discover, $125. Car, $230. And student loans, $145. Now, you're going to need to actually go look up your bills and see what the minimum payments are and write that down. So it takes a little work when you're first getting started the first couple of months. And it's a little bit of a trial and error period because as you're doing the budget, you're going to learn how much you need for gas, how much you need for grocery. Whatever you need, you're going to learn within the first couple months. And you might have a couple hiccups along the way. Don't get discouraged. That's totally normal. That happened to me. But stick with it and you'll get those numbers down to a science. So it's important that you have them listed from smallest to largest, your total amount, the date, and your minimum payments for each. Once you have that, you can now start your budget. And I found this cool little budgeting book. I just have a little reminder on there that my husband wrote, Cash is King. I found it at Dollar General for like $3. It has every month. You could write your budget there. I just write mine on a piece of paper and I tear out the paper and put it in this little pocket. And then I keep my like my utility bill and electric bill. I keep them in there so I don't lose them when they come in the mail. So that's just a cool little thing I found. You don't need one of those to do it, but I found it for $3 and I thought it was cool, so I use it. All you need is a piece of paper. So, like I said, I color code mine because I have 2 checks in the month. Now, these are my regular paycheck, and then if you had any extra side hustle income, like I teach VIP Kid on the side, I can put income number 3 and put that total there, however much I make, okay? If you had a yard sale and you made an extra $200 on your yard sale, you can list income 4. You can just write yard sale and put $200, whatever the case may be. Okay, so I split my bills into 2 columns because I get 2 paychecks. Now, I didn't just randomly pick which one was going to go on each side. I didn't just like split it down the middle. I had to go and check each bill's due date. So I listed my income number 1. Again, these are just generic numbers, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea. You might make less, you might make more, you might be right around this range. This will work no matter what your numbers are. You just have to plug your numbers in to get your numbers, and to get your snowball number, I mean. So I listed income 1, $1,150. That is going to cover me from August 1st to August 15th. Income number 2, $1,150. That's going to be covering me from August 16th to 31st. Then I put a little purple star next to income 1 because that's my purple column, and then a green star next to income 2 because that's my green column. Again, that just makes sure that I get these bills paid on time and that I have enough to cover from the first paycheck. You don't want to pay all of these and you only have 1 paycheck in your account, okay? That's why they're split. So I listed all of the things that I have to pay, and then I totaled it up. So all of these, I'll just read through them real quick and give you a quick total. Tithings. I always pay tithes even when I was in debt. I still pay tithes no matter what, 10% of my income. So I have tithes listed, and I pay my tithes for the first paycheck, and then 2 weeks when I get the second one, I pay my second tithes. So I have tithes, and then I also allotted some money for offering. So it wasn't a lot while I was in debt, but it was still something. So tithes, 115, offering 5, car insurance, 95, phone, 45, gas, 30. Now I give myself $30 for gas for 2 weeks. I live close to work, so that's about how much I need. You might need more, you might need less. Again, this is one that's going to be you're going to figure out the kinks within the first couple months of doing the budget. You'll know if you need more or if you need less. Getting to work requires gas in your car, so that's a necessity. It's okay to increase that one. Groceries, I set at $150 for every 2 weeks. This is where I was spending a ton of money, and I was just throwing things in the cart. Once I set it to $150, what you don't do is you don't buy all your groceries and then write down, oh, I spent $350. No, you're writing down how much you're allowing yourself to spend, and then you are making a grocery list with exactly what you need, and your meal planning. That's a whole nother post. I'm really excited about that, to get into that and show you guys that. I've perfected that within the last year because I wanted to absolutely stick to the $150. And that one is huge for a lot of people, cutting the grocery bill down. Now you will have to see what that number looks like for you depending on your family size. I am not going to just say, oh, I'm going to give myself $300 every 2 weeks because I want to make gourmet meals every single night. During this journey of getting debt-free is not the time to be eating gourmet meals every single night. So you're going to want to watch my next post about grocery planning and how to make some really budget-friendly meals that are actually really good. So that's what allowed me to stick to the $150 for groceries. $50 for electricity, gyms, $45. Now the gym's not going to change because that's always $45 every month. The electricity might fluctuate a little bit here and there, so you just write your new number in every single month. Miscellaneous, I give myself $50 every 2 weeks for fun money, so I can choose whatever I want with that miscellaneous, what I do with it. If I'm at the grocery store and I go over by $5, and instead of $150, my total is $155, I can pull $5 from my miscellaneous, and then I'm left with $45. the car, just $230, Kohl's $20, Discover $125, and then my Netflix is $9. So that's for the first 2 weeks, okay? Now, I said car, Kohl's, and Discover. All of those are minimum payments. So when I'm going to start doing this debt snowball, which I'm going to show you in a minute, I'm still making the minimum payments on everything. So I'm never abandoning a bill because I'm trying to attack the first smallest debt. I'm still paying the minimum payment on everything. So if the car is $230, I'm paying $230. Okay, everything's a minimum payment. And then I get paid again. So for the second half of the month, I'm going to pay the second half's bills or expenses. Tithes, $115, offering $5, teacher union dues, $85, the chiropractor, $80, gas, $30, groceries, $150, utilities, $45, miscellaneous, $50, student loans, $145. Again, that's the minimum payment. Citibank, $45, Ashley Furniture, $65, all minimum payments. And then I have a line for emergency fund or snowball. So I'm going to get back to that in just a second. So you add up your total, make sure you don't go over the amount that you get for your paycheck. So I added these up and I got $969. When I subtracted that from $1,150, it left me with $181. Now, very important step here. You do not have an extra $181 to just go on a shopping spree. Because I can tell you from personal experience, when I wasn't doing this plan, when I wasn't writing it down, that money, that extra money that wasn't going towards a bill was swiped on my debit card quick, and it was out of my account before I even knew it was in there. You spend it so quick on fast food, Amazon, just all these different things you're just swiping your card for, and then before you know it, it's gone. So just know that this 180, I'm already going to assign it in this next 2 weeks. So it's not just going to be spending money that I'm just deciding to go on a shopping spree. So 180, I am now going to add it to my second income. So instead of 1,150, I just added it down here. So really now, for the second half of the month, I have $1,331. So now I'm going to do this half, add them all up. Make sure you double check your math because you want your numbers to be correct. And also when you're listing these, before you plug in the numbers, think really hard about all the bills that you have. Every single thing that you have. Think about it, put it on here. If you have something I forgot to list on here that most of you have, rent or mortgage, that would be on there as well. So make sure you list everything, because if you forget one, then you have to go back in and recalculate all your numbers again. I didn't put every single thing on here because these are just general, and you're not going to have all of these, and you're going to have some different ones. So it's just a general layout. So once I did that and added these ones up, I had $815. And once I did that, I subtracted it from my $1,331, and I was left with $516. Now, with that $516, again, it's not shopping spree money. That is either going to go towards my emergency fund or my snowball, depending on what step I'm on. If I don't have an emergency fund yet, that is going straight to the emergency fund. It's going into my savings account. Okay? So within 2 months, with this particular person's income, within 2 months, I'd have $1,000 in my emergency fund. If I already had $1,000, then I'm putting it towards a snowball. Maybe I just have $900 in my emergency fund. Then I'm just going to take $100 of that, put it in my emergency fund, and then the other $416 would go towards my snowball. Okay? So we'll just pretend this person has a full, not a fully funded, but they have an emergency fund of $1,000. Okay? So that $516 is going to go towards our snowball. How do we do the snowball? Okay. This is the fun part. This is how you get out of debt. So that $516, we are attacking the smallest debt first, which is the Kohl's. So remember, the first half of the month, I paid $20 on my Kohl's payment. Okay, so I called the Kohl's, paid $20, or went online, whatever the case may be. $20. So I can deduct $20 from $417, and that leaves me with $397. Okay, I did some of the math already over here, so I can just go on this video. So we're left with $397. Now remember, I have $516 extra that I'm putting towards my snowball. So I'm going to put that towards the $397. That wipes that out. Okay, so this is the fun part. you get to cross that off. In the month of August, Kohl's is now paid off. I like to write the date. Let's just pretend that was August 28th. Super important, this snowball amount, I do not pay it until the end of the month, okay? Do not pay it till the end of the month. Just in case I missed a bill and I forgot to write something down, I know that I can pay it and the rest is going to the snowball. Once you get really good at this and you're doing it every month, you know, you don't forget anything, you just know that that's the total amount, but I still wait till the end of the month just as a safety net. So at the end of the month, I call Kohl's again for the second time and I paid $3.97 on August 28th and I cross it off because it is paid and it's gone. Then I go cut up the Kohl's card. I save my cut up credit cards in a little mason jar. And then I also, while I'm on the phone paying it off, I close it, close the account. If you want to go to Kohl's and shop, awesome, go pay with cash. Okay, use some of your miscellaneous money, but do not put anything back on a credit card. You're working way too hard to put new debt on. So close that card, cut it up, let's move to the next one. So once I've done that, I paid $397 out of the $516. So now I'm moving to the next one. The snowball is starting to roll. I now have Citibank. We're still in the month of August. So Citibank, I paid $45 this month to Citibank. So if I take that off my total, $1,271 minus $45, I'm at $1,226. Now, I still have, out of that $516, I paid some on Kohl's, it's gone. What I have left is $119. So in the month of August, I'm now going to pay an additional $119 on Citibank. So at the end of August, my Citibank total now is $1,107 and Kohl's is gone. Okay, now we're gonna move to September. So now we're in September, we did our budget, we still have $516 left, and we are gonna continue to do this snowball. So now, here's how the snowball works. Now when I do that September budget, I don't have a line for Kohl's anymore, but I still have that $20. So the key is not to say, ooh, I have $20 extra, I'm gonna go spend it. The key is to say, I have $20 that is now going on to my next debt. So now instead of paying just the minimum payment for Citibank, which is $45, I'm now gonna pay the minimum payment, $45, plus $20, that's where my snowball's going from Kohl's. So $20 and $45, and then I'm going to pay the $516 extra that I have in my budget that's going on the snowball. So once I pay, remember I'm starting September with $1,107 on Citibank. I'm going to pay my minimum payment, $45. I'm going to pay Kohl's minimum payment of $20, but it's not going to Kohl's, it's going to Citibank now. So there's the $20. And then I'm also going to pay the $516. Now at the end of September, I only have $526 left on Citibank. That was fast. I attacked that fast. It's only been 2 months and I'm left with $526. Now, we are now in, and remember, I'm paying the minimum payments on these other ones still. So Ashley Furniture is still getting $65, Discover is still getting $125, the car is still getting $230, and the student loan is still getting $145 because that's still written in my regular budget. Okay, so now we are in October. We're doing October's budget. We have $516 still. And at this point, once you see it's getting going, you're working extra hard to find extra income, okay? Sometimes I don't spend all my miscellaneous money and I have an extra $10 and I will throw it at my debt at the end of the month, okay? If I didn't spend $25 of my miscellaneous, I throw it at my debt. And as you see these numbers start to drop so fast, you want that extra money, you want to start saving it, and you want it to be thrown at the debt as fast as you can. So we are now in October and we have $526 left. You better believe out of my $516 that I have extra, I am definitely taking out $10 from miscellaneous because I want this debt to be done and I want to close that card. So I'm going to give myself $40 for miscellaneous here instead on my second one instead of $50. So I gave myself $10 more to the snowball. So now that's the exact amount, $526. So now Citibank, as of October, remember I'm paying the snowball at the end of the month, so we'll say October 29th, is paid. In, let's see, August, September, October, 3 months, 2 of your debts are paid off already. Now you get to attack Ashley Furniture, $2,426. Now, for the month of November, you're starting your new budget on November, and now you have $20 payment that gets to go to the next one, $45, and you have your $65 minimum payment for Ashley Furniture. So you've got 3 minimum payments, plus you have your extra $516 from your budget to go towards your snowball. So in the month of November, on this Ashley bill, you're going to pay $646. So you went from paying the minimum payment of $65 to now you're paying $646. That means this debt is going to be gone real quick. Then you can move to the next one and the next one and the next one. Don't forget, once you finish that Citibank and I crossed it off on here, I am calling to close that account and I am cutting up that credit card. If you don't have it, you're not going to use it. So that's how the snowball works, okay? You just take the minimum payment and now that it's gone, you add it to the next one, then you add it to the next one. So if you do it this way, it goes really fast. That's why we're not worried about interest. We're worried about getting these victories here that keep us going. If you're not going to do it full speed ahead and you're not going to sprint and it's not going to be fast, yeah, you're going to worry about interest. But when you do it this way, it's going so fast that it's like boom, boom, boom. I'm already on to the next one. That's how I got out of debt so fast. I stuck to the budget. It's one thing to just write it down, but it's another thing to follow it. It is super important that you write it down. Like, you really need to write it down because it holds you accountable. But it's also your own self-control and discipline that makes you stick to the budget. Okay? So you can do it. Nobody said it's like easy to do, but this part, writing everything down, you'll get in the hang of it and it will get easy. But the discipline part is the part you have to have some willpower for. It was not easy giving myself $50 for miscellaneous for every 2 weeks. But that's enough to still have some fun. You don't want to give yourself nothing because, you know, then you'll burn out and you won't do it. But $50, I could go to the movies. I can go get some ice cream. I can buy a t-shirt if I wanted. So it's enough to keep me going on this without burning out. So you need to just find that number of what's going to, you know, keep you going. You're not going to give yourself, you know, $500 for miscellaneous. That's not going to get you out of debt very quickly. You're going to end up with a, you know, if you give yourself $500, then you're going to end up with $16 over here left for your snowball, and that's not going to get you out as fast as you would like to with that bigger chunk of money. So with the miscellaneous, it's forced me to decide what I really want or need, and I've also been able to be creative enough to find different ways to go have fun on a budget or that's free. For example, I'll go ride my bike and I'll be out for 3 hours and I will spend $3 because I stopped to get an ice cream or something like that. So it forces you to really use some self-control, and it's temporary though, guys. The inconvenience and the sacrifice is temporary. You will get out of debt, and once you get out of it, you will then get to have that money. Instead of paying everybody else, all the lenders off, you now have that money to spend for what you want. So it's temporary inconvenience, and then, you know, it gets to be fun after that. I'm in the fun stage now. I'm still saving for a car, but it feels so much more freeing to know that I'm not paying these lenders. And the cool thing is, this is just a generic one, but I used to have a lot of these ones, but like Kohl's, Discover, Car, Student Loan, Citibank, Ashley Furniture, those 6 debts, once they're gone and you have 0 debt, those are gone off your budget. Now you have all of this income that was going towards debt plus this snowball. So I have a couple hundred here plus the snowball that I am now throwing in my savings so that I can buy a new to me car. And then once I have the car, I can throw all that extra money that was going towards my car towards different savings that I want to save for, and I want to start paying off we want to start paying off the house even faster and attacking that. So it frees up a ton of money. So if you stick to it, it works. But you can't be halfway. You've got to do it. You got to just do it completely, and it works. So temporary sacrifices now. will lead to a very peaceful financial life in your future. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. This will be posted on my YouTube, and it's also on my blog, thrivingatabudget.com. Again, I hope that this helps, and if you have questions, please feel free to message me and I will try to help answer any of your questions. I hope you guys have a great day. Good luck. Be strong. You can do it.